This round, candidates will have 1 minute to respond. If one should mention another, it's not obligatory, we'll have an opportunity for rebuttal. As we're under strict time limits, we do try and get as many of these questions in as we can. Valerie?
Mr. Bauer, some counties in the PD have the highest level of unemployment in the state. What specifically can you do to create jobs for the people in this district, and why is your plan better than your opponents?
Well, first off, I'm a business owner. I came to this district when I actually was lieutenant governor. I bought a home in this district, planned on moving here when I got out of state government, and immediately I got involved in the business community. Bought out a closing business, opened up another one. We've employed over 100 people. But as your lieutenant governor, I traveled the state and the country and the world trying to get economic development. When Nanya Plastics had problems, I was there to work with them. When Nucor Steel had problems, I went to Washington and fought for them for the steel tariffs that were hurting their business. I've been there time and time again. I've talked about the need for an intermodal port. I've talked about the need for more free trade zones. We've got to reduce taxes. We need to make the Bush tax cuts permanent. We need to eliminate the capital gains tax. We need to do everything we can. I would say rapid depreciation on any equipment bought for a business owner. We've got to encourage business owners to want to spend money to make investment and to hire new people.
And Mr. Rice, you promised to bring new jobs to Horry County when you were elected chairman in 2010.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
I'm sorry. You promised to bring new jobs to Horry County when you were elected chairman in 2010. But since you've been elected, there have only been 2 small announcements, both by companies that were already here. What is your plan to create jobs for the district, and how is it better than your opponents?
Well, you're right, I ran on jobs, and when I came into Horry County Council, our economic development was at a dead standstill. And in 9 months, we had produced an average of 106 jobs in Horry County for the last 3 years, where Charleston, Columbia, Greenville were producing 1,300. We funded a plan in July. Since January, we've created 350 jobs. I'm very proud of that. We've already tripled the job production in Horry County. And we've got a number of very good prospects in the wings. I promise you by the end of this year, it'll be over 500 jobs created in Horry County from this new plan. Nationwide, this is, I think, one of our top issues. And we have sat here as a nation and watched American jobs go overseas for decades. And it's caused because we're not competitive, we're not business friendly. Highest corporate tax rates in the world, highest red tape government regulation. If we want to have jobs come back on shore, if we want to re-employ those millions of American jobs that have gone offshore, we've got to make ourselves competitive.
Mr. Prosser. Mr. Prosser, same question. What is your plan to bring jobs to the district, and how is it superior to your opponents?
Well, my perspective is a little different. First of all, the federal government does not create jobs. The federal government taxes when it creates government jobs. That's not how true sustainable economic recovery and job growth happens. It happens by business owners investing and having a hospitable environment for business growth. We do that first and foremost by getting control of the out-of-control deficit spending, paying down the national debt, because when we have a looming cloud of tax increases, we have additional regulations like Obamacare putting burdens and uncertainty on businesses, you will not see economic growth. To have true long-term economic growth, the federal government needs to get out of the way. And I differ from many of my opponents here on the stage in that I do not believe that the federal government plays a role. Increasing the budget for an economic development agency, quadrupling it in order to buy jobs, that's not the approach that I would take in